Oh, yeah. You already know what it is, boy. It's time to discuss what goes on in the week with your favorite blurs at the Black Blurred table. Let's do it. This week we got a lot going on, especially for those of y'all into the last Airbender. Pull on up, dang. I see you coming on, Yappa. Yep. Let's get the fuck about this bitch. But in other things going on out there, y'all, as you all probably already know, there have been some new announcements. Squid Game 2 is on the deck. It should be dropping here pretty soon. We'll see what's going on. Let's discuss. Also, did y'all know that there's a Demon Slayer movie actually going to theaters? And it's going to be dropping pretty soon. So let's talk about it. Maybe not. We're on the moon again. Hey, I love the moon as a former NASA worker. Let's discuss. And there's a new Jurassic World movie. Are we tired of these constant attempts to try to remake Jurassic Park? I don't know. The magic feels like it's gone, but that's a whole nother discussion. I saw Madam Web. Stick around. I'm going to go ahead and give my review of it because I do have opinions. Oh, guess what's coming back to the streaming services? It is the Boyz season 4 about to pull on up on all of y'all. One of my favorite shows. Yo, Borderlands is getting a show or a movie or something, and Kevin Hart's in it, and that looks interesting. Bob Marley dropped last week. We ain't even talked about it yet. We had a chance to see it. Did we like it? Did we not? Did they sell out? I don't know. Let's discuss. Really excited about the potential for a Naruto live action movie. What? Come through with the cinema jutsu? I'm down, homeboy. Let's go ahead and discuss. And of course, I want to give y'all, because believe it or not, it's still Black History Month. Definitely want to go over one of our favorite Black characters. I am your boy, the real Vince Taylor, reporting live from Wakanda, and I am joined by none other than the one and only Nolly in his house. We got Bad Ty in his house. It's a family affair. We in this bitch today. Let's go ahead and do what we do. Let's talk good nerd stuff, baby. Go ahead, Yvette. Tell them who it is.
I love the new blurred order. You should too.
Whoa.
Let me get all this 10p Wayne. All the niggas rapping about the same old thing. I've been coming through with the same old gang. Ain't shit changed except mine got a name. Got it out the mud but we got no stains. Cold ass ninja with a gold ass chain. The girl call me daddy, not my government name. Money on my mind, got them bands on my brain. Let me tell y'all about a nigga I know. The nigga stay clean so he always got hoes. Light skinny bitches like.
All righty, good morning, everybody. I hope your week's going well. Let's talk this blurred stuff. So as you all already know, let's go ahead and get right on up in it, bruh. We are in the midst of another live action anime, well, Western anime, whatever you want to call it, development. And that is, of course, for none other than the Avatar. It is on Netflix right now. It debuted this week, and not to be confused with M. Night Shyamalan's last Airbender movie, this motherfucking movie came to give us some real ass Avatar, and I got a scene for y'all. Let's go ahead and see what it is talking about.
I just want you guys to get along. No, because like, why is he here? Because I ain't invited me. Katara, you gotta understand, it's my decision. I need to learn firebending. I mean, Katara, he do gotta learn fire for real. You can't learn firebending from somewhere else. You want me to get a campfire and learn? Maybe. You be doing too much. That's why your mama dead. Your mama dead too? And like, your daddy don't love you. So, and he sure ain't gonna love you now. You over here cooling with the Avatar. Well, I don't have no parents, so why we gotta talk about who mama dead? Like, not for nothing to say. Sorry, be honest. Just be honest. You want me, don't you? Ooh. Ooh. Katara. You know what? Katara. Oh my god. What a bitch. Katara. Get her. That was uncalled for. I'm sorry, so I'm gonna light her on fire like rotisserie. No, y'all just calm down. Bring up her. You gon' calm down. She playing with me. She playing with me. I don't want you to go. I never don't blow my fire out. I know.
So, all right. So obviously that wasn't the actual Airbender, but yo, that's kind of funny. But yo, Airbender was, I thought, fairly decent. Let's go ahead and go to the panel and see what everybody thought. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Nolly, Ty, everybody had an opportunity to see this. I'm going to go ahead and put this up. Let's do our review reveal and let folks know our initial feelings. I know we all haven't actually finished it, but let me take this down and you give me what you thought so far. We got thumbs up if you loved it, thumbs down if you didn't like it, or thumbs in the middle, meh. If you thought whatever, it is what it is. I'm gonna take it down in 3, 2, 1. Oh, wow. Okay, I've got a thumb up. We've got a limp, man, and then we got a rising thumb from Nolly.
I've only
Let's
seen
go.
2 episodes.
Let's go with the positive, and then we'll go with Bad Tide. Nolly, what did you think about it after seeing it for the first time?
I thought it was a good start, but I've only seen 2 episodes, y'all. So don't get on me. I know that there are concerns on the internet. I have not gotten there yet. Your feelings are probably valid, but for now, episodes 1 and 2 was pretty good. I'll probably finish it today and then have more thoughts next week. But it wasn't terrible.
Okay, all right. And Ty, your feelings, same thing or no? Obviously not, because you got thumb in the middle.
Nah, man, it's there's a lot of things that you get in this, which with the bending, I think was one of the things that I was impressed by from the very first episode. Like it gave you what you were asking for, Vince, which was let me see you build up the bending. Let me see you like really get passionate about your bending. I like you get that. I get that. The problem that I'm seeing right now, and I'm in episode 4, is that Little Aang is not doing it for me. And it's I feel like there was a lot of potential, and I know this is gonna probably be the internet's gonna go crazy off this, but I honestly would have liked the Aang from M. Night Shyamalan in this as opposed to Little Aang that we got. It's just something that's not hitting for me, whether it's his lack of experience or in acting. But there are moments where I'm just like, you're doing too much with your face. You know what I mean? Like you're not. It's not. I haven't connected with the character, and that sucks when you are the main character. Like you know what I mean. So for me, that's been my only real critique. I think they did a very good job of, like I said, the bending and also following the story that you get in the animation almost to the T. Like there's some slight changes, but most of it is what you would see if you watch the Avatar: The Last Airbender cartoon or animation. So in those aspects, I'm like, good job. And then when it comes to the acting, I'm not so much. I mean, I think the characters, as far as the casting, was done very well. I think everybody looks like who they are portraying. But for me, it's Aang. I think Aang is not. Yeah. Thank you, Maurice. He said Aang is not Aanging. That's what it is. That's what it's doing for me.
Oh, Nolly, is there any credence to this, or is Bad Tide being Bad Tide, man? What's going on?
No, his face be doing a lot, but I also had the same feeling about the woman who played Gran. I was like, I didn't feel nothing in your delivery of your speech.
Nothing.
It was monotone.
It was
the facial expression was.
And
I was
like, and it doesn't get better. I'll just put that out there. It doesn't get better. Her energy is that. That is her energy, and that's it. The lack of energy.
Okay. All right. Now listen. Grant's giving me shaman. You know what I'm saying? More like in Vikings. Remember that dude who had no eyes and was he sees the future. Like they have different ways of speaking. You know what I'm saying? I chalk it up to that. I don't know what Ty's talking about. I haven't seen episode 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, 8 yet. So I'm on episode 2 right now. And I've just finished episode 2. And all I can say is when I first started this, I started thinking, all right, holy fuck. I held my head like this, and my mouth was open for the first 5 minutes. They came in so hot with the Fire Nation shit. I love the fact that they do not shy away from not only death but blood. The action sequences are fucking ridiculous. This shit has like Jet Li legendary type. Yo, the fact this dude with the okay, all right. All right. I know we normally try not to spoil, but I'm just gonna keep it real. Like I might spoil this first episode a little bit. So just sorry, guys. I'm just letting you know what it is. Shout out to Lisa. What's going on? What's good, Naris? What's going on, Darth? Everybody, we in this bed. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all contributions this morning, man, because we gotta talk. So the fact of the matter is, I'm like, I see now within the first few minutes of watching Last Airbender why everybody was so mad at the original Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan, because this was, first of all, let's talk about the differences between like the actual all right, Lisa, all right, got me, you got me. Let's talk about the actual differences. In M. Night Shyamalan's Last Airbender, he tried to make Fire Nation Diwali. They tried to identify each of the nations with some sort of ethnicity, and M. Night Shyamalan, being of Indian descent, more than likely was like, yo, I'm going to make the baddest ass motherfuckers the Indians. And that's what happened. And that was fine. I didn't have a problem with it at first. I was like, all right, it is what it is. But to see these motherfuckers as fucking Asian martial arts badass, yo, these motherfuckers is when the dude with the earth bending shit, are you fucking kidding? The first 5 minutes, bro, went so hard. It went so hard. I lost it. Oh my god, like the fire bending, everything in the water bending, they did exactly what I was talking. It was Appa, the Appa herd, the freaking the sky bison herd, bro. The depiction of the monks, yo, get the fuck, yo. I'm like overwhelmed by how colorful Avatar was, by how they were able to actually depict Katara the way she really looks. You know, I love how this is panning out to basically be, it's a real life adaptation of the show. It's not a version of the show. It's the show in live action, almost to the T. Everything that's happening, for the most part, is exactly what happened in the actual show itself. And that's what Avatar fans want. Now, I'm only 2 episodes in, so I might come back next week and be like, you know what? Yeah, all right. So
that's how I feel.
So
yeah, I think that's
it's not the episode 2. But I doubt that. It's hard to see it.
Yo, Vince, the amount of energy you have for that first episode is first of all, it's always great to see your energy at this level.
So dope.
But let me just qualm that a little bit. Because what's going to wind up happening is you're going to have an expectation, and that the rest of the series is going to have all of these things. I'm on episode 4, as I stated, right? So far, we've only got maybe one more of those moments of the first episode, and I mean, it's an iconic moment. It's great on screen. It looks wonderful, everything like that. But the problem again is this Aang. Like it's something. I just feel like he's falling short, man. And we went through this with Boba Fett. Anytime the main character is not the most exciting character on their own show, especially when the show is named after you, then I'm like, nah, I can't do it. I just can't do it. And this has been more of a struggle. Like, you know me, when it's something good, I'll binge it. I'll watch the whole thing because I can't get enough of it. This one has taken me it's taken me since it came out, and I'm on episode 4, and yeah, I fell asleep a couple times on episodes. I've had to go back and rewatch. So that gives you an idea of the level of action packness that you get. That there, like I said, there's scenes, there's a couple scenes, but as far as what your energy is at, there's only one other scene like that. But I mean, so and that's just where I'm at right now. So maybe we'll get more. So we'll wait. But
All right, I could not disagree more. Even I mean, again, I haven't seen what you saw, so I can't struggle. But I'm speaking specifically about your opinion about Aang and him not rising to the occasion. I think that this Aang is doing it for. He is giving me Aang. I definitely could not see M. Night Shyamalan's Aang as much as he was all right. This Aang is the Aang from the show. This is Aang from the Last Airbender Nickelodeon series. He sounds like him. He looks like him. He acts like him. He's just as innocent as him. He's just as small and as feeble as he looks. And and acting wise, I think he's also holding it down. I'm just going to keep it real. I think this entire cast is completely ridiculous. I saw the comment about Sokka not being necessarily what we had depicted him. Yeah, it would have been nice. I didn't see the whole thing yet, but I have already heard that they didn't give us the Sokka, the sexist version of Sokka. You know, the Shikamaru version of Sokka. But I just. I don't know. Maybe I'm stimulated by colors, fight scenes, and the CGI. But when I'm watching this Avatar, it feels like Avengers Endgame or Infinity. It has that level of graphics. It has that level of gravitas with the way that they depict the lands, the Airbender Temple, the Monk Temple, the Southern Water Tribe, the way they depict the Fire Nation. This shit is spinning on all cylinders for these first couple episodes. So if it does get worse, I hate to see it, but I can tell you right now, these first 2 episodes, I literally, when I watched, like, I'll tell you my day yesterday. I came home, I did a performance, I had to go perform. I did a Don't Tell comedy show. Look out for the footage. It's probably going to drop on their site. So, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Then I left and went to Madam Web, you know what I'm saying? Hit my little L on the way, stayed awake, had a bad experience in the theater because motherfuckers are talking and watching movies on their phone in a fucking movie theater. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you, man. The dude said I had to move my seat. All right, anyway, hold up a subject. Yeah, bro. One of my biggest.
You didn't channel me in that moment.
I should never hear your phone ever. I should never. I don't give a fuck where I'm at the airport. If I'm in a restaurant, I should never hear you. You got earphones for that. Get your goddamn headphones on, motherfucker. While I'm in the movie theater listening to all your little TikToks. Fuck you, dude. I had to move. And then, like, the cast of girlfriends came on the right hand side and was cackling, kiki, giggling. I had to move. It was just me. Bruh.
So I'm curious. I'm curious exactly how that works because you know me. So I'm curious how moving in a theater really helps you at all.
All right. So
outside.
So first of all, this is I went to Hamlin Theater, which is in Winter Garden, and it's one of them theaters where you can order the food from your chair. Like, you don't go to the concession to buy it. So you hit the button and they have a menu for you. You can order whatever you want, and it's pretty cool. I go there a lot. Me and the wife, we like to go there. But I go to it this time, and one of the waiters acts like it's not a movie, and he's talking to folks as if it's like the Ale House. Hey, so what else did you want? And I'm like, bitch, I'm trying to hear Madam Web right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is going on.
They're doing that inside the movie while
in the movie theater, like while the movie is playing. Like, there's other waiters, there's other people serving, but one in particular just had to let us know that whoever the fuck he was dealing with at the time was getting the Meat Lovers pepperoni sausage pizza as well as the flatbread with no sauce, and had to make sure that we knew there was no strawberry lemonade and there was only kiwi and mango. Why do I know this? I'm in the 3rd row. I don't need to hear this shit. You're in the back row. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you. And I gotta. I'm sorry. I love going to movies, and when people ruin it for me, I pay 18 of my hard-earned dollars to go and sit down in this movie theater amongst other folks, and I gotta sit here. I did the Seinfeld turn, like the dude was sitting next, like three seats down from me, and he was watching this TikTok video. Now, I'll give him credit. It was during the trailers, but even the trailers, bro, I'm watching the trailers. You know what I'm saying? And I hear, like, on full blast all these fucking Instagram videos, and you know what I'm saying? Like, so I give him the Seinfeld turn. I give him the. and I just stared at him for a little bit, and he never looked. I was ready for it to go down. I was right for a couple minutes. I was in fight mode. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh my god!
I was like, but I had to calm myself down. I was like, bro, you don't want to go down.
You should have called me. You should have called me. Put me on speaker. You should have called me and put me on speaker, bro. Because I would listen. First and foremost, and I know this to be true in every movie theater. Every movie theater has made it their business to showcase for at least 2 minutes on their screen Turn your phones off.
Yes.
Respect the persons next to you that have paid their money for the movie. They go through all of these changes about respect and keeping the volume down and all of that.
Right.
Now you mean to tell me I watched the same shit you just watched on the screen, and you got the audacity to take your phone out right after you watch that shit, and you didn't say shit? Oh, bro, next time that happens, Vince, you have my permission to call me on the telephone, put me on speakerphone, and I promise you, after I say what I say to these motherfuckers, they'll put them phones up, or you will be
right.
One or the other.
Yeah, and then I hang up. You go back to bed, and I'm stuck in a movie theater with this enraged motherfucker who could be armed, and you just cussed him out and hung up. All right, cool. That's a good plan.
Listen,
anyway,
I can only do one thing at a time, and quiet was my job. I'll do that. You handle it.
Well, let me tell the rest of the story. So I finished that. We'll talk about, and I'm gonna give my spill on Madam Web a little later. Stick around for that. I want y'all to hear my review on Madam Web. But so after I leave, I'll come home and I'm watching Avatar because I know we want to talk about it this morning. And I sit down, I'm like, all right, let me see what this shit is about. You know what I'm saying? It comes on, the fire shit comes on, and they start with the fire bending scenes with the earth bending shit. And I literally went like this. Oh shit. And then for like the next 5 minutes, I was like, oh my God. Oh, what the fuck is this? What is this? Like, it was so ridiculous. And then it died down. The energy after that first scene, it died down tremendously. But that's when they started the world building of showing us how Aang became the Avatar, how this, that, the third. Huh?
I thought we were talking about Madam Web.
Oh, well, no. Yeah, I was just talking about the fact that I went there. And that I'm gonna talk about Madam Web later, but that I'm just saying, I would just give my process of what happened, how it ended up. But that's why, because people saying, "Oh, I know you would have watched the whole." I would have watched the whole thing if I had time, but I just started watching it last night, and based on what I've seen, yeah. Look, I got a lot going. Well, look, we all got a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna call that theater on behalf of you and complain. I'm gonna be like, nah. I don't understand why y'all are bringing waiters in the movie once the movie started. Get your orders out before the movie starts. It's simple mathematics. I didn't come to the movie to hear people placing orders in my ear.
Yo, it's not even that. You know what? First of all, this is a movie theater that's kind of in a good, close, a quiet kept secret. You know what I'm saying? Like I usually go to AMC Altamont. For those in the Orlando area, you know that. Lisa, you know Altamont, and then I'll go to or I go to West Oaks. I got AMC's premiere, benefits or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I get the free movie every week. But my wife likes this one because they serve you the food or whatever. Normally you go to it and hey, can I? Okay, yes. But this dude was talking through a microphone or some shit, and it was like so freaking. It was we talk about my movie experience, Darth. Sorry, man. Stick by, man. It's a phone, man. Take the phone with you. I'm just playing. We like percent. So I'm like, all right, cool. We get there, and this dude is talking like hella loud. So yeah, I have a right to complain because all he had to do was talk quiet. When he came to take my order, I didn't speak. I acted like I was mute. What's up, Stephanie? I showed him with the light what I wanted. He's like, okay, and what do you want to drink? I'm like, I didn't even say nothing. I was just, like we're in the movie started, So yeah, man, I that happened right before. So anyway, once I got a chance to get home and finally watch Avatar, like I said, I just completely lost it. I cannot wait to see what else. But yeah, man, me and you, we had odds on this one because Aang is Aanging for me. He's giving me what I'm asking for when it comes to Aang. I haven't even. I mean,
that scene that you just saw right there is one of those scenes where he goes into the Avatar state right there.
Yeah,
where he goes into the Avatar state and channels one of the previous avatars. And so they that's one of the things that I was like, okay, this is, but yeah. I think the way that they set it up, right? They gave you this impactful moment right off the jump because they knew the story was gonna drag. It because I'm dead serious because because think about it. This is all developmental. Like we're going through not only Aang, realizing his bending powers outside of air bending, but also Katara is learning to water bend. So that, you know, like, so this is all developmental. So we're watching them learning from novice on to whatever, you know, they're going to get the master. So it is a very slow drag right now. It is this, that is very developmental. So they gave you all the action sequence to show you what the potential is, and it got you. It pulled you in. You was like, oh my God. And then the next few episodes, you're gonna be like,
well, see, the thing for me is like, I don't base how good this is, and I won't base how it's the same thing with Matter Web. So stick around for that. I don't base the quality of a show or a movie on how frequently they give me an action scene or how frequently I can see fight scenes. Like, it's the overall experience that I get from watching it. So even if I don't see a bunch of fists or a bunch of bending the whole entire episode, like some of the things that are going on, like the connection that Aang has with his monk family, with the connection that Aang has with the previous avatars, the connection that Katara has with her grand, the connection that Sokka has with the girl that he ends up meeting eventually. I haven't seen that part, but I'm assuming that happens in there because I'm assuming that that's who this young lady is. Like, there's so many layers to this that I'm just enjoying the fact that it's a live action, and I just hope that we don't become too cinematic snobby. You don't become so snobby cinematically that if a project doesn't give us perfection, then we shun it and say, don't even give us the project. You know what I'm saying? Like, the likelihood we're going to get a perfect project, it just does not exist, period.
I don't think we've ever been like that, but we do need to be snobby. People do come here for our opinions, so the snobbiness is going to
be yeah, fair.
However, I don't think we've gotten so snobby that we're like, this didn't hit it for me.
True.
The whole thing. Nah, I mean, I don't think it's that. There are things that they did well, like you stated. They did cinematically. The visuals look good. You mentioned the CGI. I'm a little sketchy on the CGI. There are parts where it is a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like Aang flying. That Aang flying.
I did want to talk about that. But go ahead.
I looked a little, but as far as what you're stating, you know what I'm saying? When you say, you know, I judge a project by the multiples and everything that you know surrounds the project, not just the action. I'm curious to know what it is you saw in the first 2 episodes outside of the action that has you like, ooh, because I'm, you know.
All right, I got you on that. What I saw in the first 2 episodes, well, the first episode, of course, the action was it you can't deny it. Like even Ty, who has adverse opinions about this, you can't deny the first 5 minutes of this fucking. You cannot deny it. You can't deny it.
It was
the first 5 minutes of this fucking show is gonna go down in history as one of the best fucking intros to a series that I've ever seen. I'm just keeping it real. This shit is it. Holy, like I lost my shit. Like the first 5 minutes, I was like, why is this happening? This is what holy, I beckon and I challenge anybody, Avatar fan or not, to watch this and not go nuts during the first 5 minutes. Having said that, the next thing that I loved, of course, because you all already know, I've given you who my favorites are, was the depiction of my man Zuko. And Zuko actually looks like Zuko. He conducts himself like Zuko. He's outside. He's commanding. He's giving, a fuck boy with an ego vibes. And I love it. I love it. I love the way he's a smaller, tiny dude who's commanding himself over these guys who are like supposed to be like his subordinates, but just because he's the son of the Fire Lord, he can, I love the way they depicted him. I love him and his uncle, who I knew was going to be one of my favorites because we loved him in Mandalorian. We loved him in Kim's Convenience. This dude, I just love the fact that it translates almost perfectly to a cinematic product. It's not even just the action. The action only brings me over the edge. Seeing the world. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna bring up the Aang flying thing because I was like,
that's what we doing.
Yeah, I was like, all right, Hey,
Little
it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? We did it. It happened. But for the most part, man, I just enjoyed seeing the world come to life because it doesn't always work the way we want it to. You know what I'm saying? Like we've had some, for instance, when look, people probably ain't gonna. And as much as I love Cowboy Bebop, there were some scenes in it that I was like, okay, this isn't from the movie. This isn't from the show. You know, like the whole stuff going on with Jack. Excuse me, with Mustafa's character is escaping me for right now, but his character and like his ex-wife and all that, like it wasn't in the movie, it wasn't in the show, but I still loved it. But in this, they're sticking with the themes of the actual show, and they're showing what it looks like in real life, and it really looks like real life when he comes out of the bubble from like when he comes 100 years later or whatever. That shit looked ridiculous. There are a few things that I did have issues with. One of the one was the flying. Another one was like, I wasn't so keen on them giving us Aang's story up front, but I see why they did it. In the actual show, they gave us we were introduced through Katara, but in this one we introduced to Katara through Aang. It goes a different way. But overall, man, you just can't deny it. So I am going to highly recommend that y'all go out there and watch The Last Airbender. I think that you will be happy and satisfied and you'll get what you want out of it, but that's just me. Everybody here don't agree. But one thing I will say, Azula. Oh, why did I just say Azula? I don't know.
You saw it in the comments.
And I just, how trained am I? Ice Cube would call me a slave right now, bro. From Highland, look at y'all, a bunch of slaves. Bell ring, y'all go running. All right, so yeah, I think that it's worth watching, but I would like to revisit this. We'll probably talk about this next week again and give full spoilers, but this is a mild spoiler review of it. And thus far, I think that we're the majority of the panel is on board with criticisms. I think that that's a fair thing to say. I want to move right along, though, since we are in the world of Western animes and anime productions. It is still Black History Month, so I did want to do our last Black. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. No, we got another February. We got another. Oh yeah, it's leap year, but it's.
I mean, Vince, we gotta, as Black people, we gotta get out of this Black History Month shit, man. That shit is killing me, bro. Like we got, if you want to say Black History, we talk Black History anytime. But this boxing ourselves into a month because that's what we were given. Man, look, man, Black history is American history. It is all the time. It is. That nobody has one particular history. There's not white history. There's not Black history. There's not Jewish history. It's history. And then let's I know we gotta say it because it's that's what it is. But no, as Black people, there is no such thing as Black History Month. Okay, so
okay. Well, you said a lot, and I'd like to provide some content, some context. But I will, after this context, I will get into my Black character for this week. And I like what you said because now you're leading me to do this segment on a weekly basis somehow. So we'll see that continues because I actually really like this segment. But just to be clear for the we don't need a Black History Month segment of our society, I just want to remind y'all that there was not a such thing as Black History Month until a gentleman named Carter G. Woodson decided, as a Harvard grad, listen, we should have a Black History Week. And there was a Black History Week, and from Black History Week, they turned it into Black History Month. And the purpose of having Black History Week, when it first was originally put into play, was to shine the light on prominent African Americans and Blacks who in society were not getting their just due, such as Thurgood Marshall, Madam C.J. Walker, such as the usuals, the Harry Tubmans and all that, but even Charles Drew, the guy who made the Blood Bank, or Benjamin Banneker, the Almanac, Garrett A. Morgan, he created the traffic light. These motherfuckers were not getting any recognition. So Carter G. Woodson said, we're going to dedicate this week to looking into that alone. Since then, it's evolved into the month, and now we've gotten so educated that we're like, all right, fuck a month. It's the whole year. But I just want folks to remember that it's the original reason that Black History Month exists is because a Black man named Carter G. Woodson was one that put it into play in order for us to shine the spotlight on blacks that were not getting their just due. So, but
Black
you're
history
right.
lesson. Thank you, sir.
But you're right. You're right. But you're actually right. It should not be limited to a month. So, having said that, we'll try to keep this segment going. Cool. I like that.
Here we go. Let's go.
Since we are talking our favorite Black History Month characters, some of which are listed right here on the screen, and since we are talking a little bit about Avatar and live and stuff like that, I would like to use this week to spotlight Black anime characters. So I want to start, of course, with my honorable mentions. So with our honorable mentions, I'm going to start with, if anybody here is familiar with a show called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, back in some of the earlier series when it was redeveloped, a young man by the name of Smokey tried to steal from a young man by the name of Jonathan Jotaro what were the star oh man, I forgot his last name right now, but you know, Jotaro and them family, you know what I'm saying? You know who they are. I smoke too much weed for this shit. Anyway, so just jokes, government. No, I'm not. I got a card. Fuck you. Well, anyway, Smokey starts off as a low level character, you know, who becomes friends with one of the highest, one of the strong Joestar, the Jonathan Joestar family. So he's just a side character. He tries to steal, but then the stand ends up getting in his way, and Jonathan Joestar comes to his rescue. That was cool. He also becomes mayor later on in the series. I loved his character. Another honorable mention is quickly to the men of the Hidden Cloud Village. For those of you all who are Naruto fans like myself, I'm gonna give a shout. I know there was some women as well, all right, but this one I'm just gonna give a shout to the men this one particular time. I want to shout out my man Omoi, excuse me, in the Hidden Cloud Village. The Hidden Cloud was like the hood as far as I was concerned. You know what I'm saying? I also want to shout out the homie Dario, who went face to face with the entire army of black and white Zetsus when they came as clones and went to attack all of the members of all of the nations. And of course, Killer B. We want to give a shout out to Killer B, you fool, who always has to talk in rhymes because he got to talk on time and he probably smoked a dime. You hear me? Yep. What? Fool, you fool. But today, I'm going to focus primarily on this young lady on a show called Hunter x Hunter. For those of y'all who watched Hunter x Hunter back in the day, you will know that the young Canary presented herself as quite the feat when it was time to show Gon how to actually whoop ass. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this was so special to me, this young lady, because one of the first times I saw an anime character depicted a black character in the anime world depicted almost so perfectly. Like, you actually, like, I want you to just pay attention. This is a Naruto character, and this is how they're depicting black folks, which is cool. They're kind of giving, Ring of Power. Excuse me, Game of Thrones. What's that? What did it? Ty, who did you?
House of Dragons.
The House of Dragon. Yeah. What's the name of the dudes with the white hair and shit?
The Targaryens.
It's not the Targaryens. It's something else. We'll think of it in a second. But the dude who was like, "This is bullshit."
You talking about
abomination.
What's my man's name? Oh man. It starts with a V, don't it? Nolly.
The
Valerians. Yes, they kind of look like the Valerians right here. You know what I'm saying? But not Canary. Canary's giving Black Girl Next Door. I'm getting Viv from Fresh Prince. I'm getting Rudy from The Cosby Show. This young lady not only was so dope to see on screen, but in addition, also kicked some serious ass. I don't know if y'all remember how dope she was, but here she is fighting Gon. Gon, who is probably he was on his way to become one of the most powerful hunters. He's out there looking for his dad because his dad said, fuck this, I gotta go be a better hunter. Fuck my kid, y'all deal with the kid shit. I got shit to do. He goes looking for his dad. On his way, he gets stopped right here in this group of hunters by this young one little black girl, and they cannot get past. Huh?
No, it was
I was like, he in a party, peed on himself.
Nah, you stupid. Nah, but this one young lady said basically, you shall not pass, and did not allow Gon to get into the place that Killua, his homeboy, resided in. She was guarding Killua's family because there are a bunch of assassins. So the assassins, the baddest ass assassins in this realm, hired this young black girl to be one of their guardians, and she fucks this fucker up, talk so much shit, and she was only in the series for like 3-4 episodes. She wasn't even in that long, but she had such a huge impact on me because she, by proxy, by beating Gon, all right, even though it was in his developmental stage before he kind of reached his full state, she has been pronounced, if I'm not mistaken, as one of the strongest beings in the Hunter realm, because Gon ends up being like the one who can beat everybody, even though he didn't beat the last character that was in up on one of the elders. But clearly, she was drawn right. She was portrayed right. The way that she actually spoke sounded like somebody black voiced her. Oh, excuse me. That's the wrong one. Oh, that's the wrong one too. Like somebody black voiced her. So for me, the flowers for black character this week are going to go to none other than Canary of Hunter x Hunter fame. Did anybody else here on the panel watch Hunter x Hunter by chance, or is it just me? Am I the only Hunter x Hunter fan?
I haven't, but I will now.
Yo, Nolly, Hunter x Hunter? No? Yeah, bruh. Come on now. Am I tripping with Canary? She was badass, right?
Yeah, I was did she what when
I was trying to look up who voiced her.
Is she dead?
No.
I didn't see her get shot in the head just now in that clip. It looked like somebody
wait.
Like somebody had hit her in the side in the side piece. Like,
no, they didn't kill her. No. She was going up against Gon. You got to remember, in this scene that I just showed, this is when they first met Canary. And Gon is trying to get to his home. Now, Gon is a rich, pale, a friend of Killua of Gon, and they like have this bond. But Gon ultimately is like a poor dude. But Killua has all this money because he belongs to this rich assassin family. They go to him because they need some help with some finances, and on the way they can't go all the way to his domicile because this chick is guarding the entrance. And like now these powerful motherfuckers have to get through this one little small black girl, and she opens up the entire can of whoop ass on them, and it just stuck with me. Like, you watch a lot of anime, bro, and they don't always have black characters. Even sometimes they'll have vaguely black. Like, I'll frankly say that Killer Bee was frankly vague of a black character. He looks more, more like a mixed character, which is fine. I have no problem with that. Mixed people, still black people. Everybody black. But this is a pure black woman right here, serving badassery in a manner that I have yet to see in the anime realm from a black character. Remember, this is from the early 2000s. All right, this ain't some show that's fresh, that's woke, that's DEI, that's diversity. This shit is not new. And they had enough wherewithal to not only put this young black girl in this character, but also make her so much of a badass that she kicks the ass of the main character in this bitch. And so for that, you get my flowers for this week, Miss Canary. And I can't wait to see even more of you. And I even loved when Rihanna cosplayed as you, because Rihanna is a Gon fan as well. She even did a little bit of a Gon thing. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if this was really supposed to be Gon, but who else could it be? Who else would we be doing like that? You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody who made Hunter x Hunter. I wish we could talk to some of the people that made, maybe we will, who knows, that made that show. Now, having said all of that, appreciate you guys. Thanks for sticking around. For those who have never watched Hunter x Hunter, it's a wild 7 seasons. It's gonna take weeks, but it is an addictive show, and holy fuck, I'm a better man having watched it. But anime is popping right now, and especially in the live action anime realm, which kind of leads me to our next subject. Go ahead, please.
Nah, because I was looking at the comment section, and Decepticons Attack looked up the voice actors for the young lady that you was just
Mayla.
Mayla Lee, and apparently
I was just looking at her heritage.
Apparently she's Blasian, is that correct?
She's Caribbean, she's Trini, and Creole, West African, and Pacific Islander. So
now I specifically was alerted to that comment because earlier this week I had put a comment in our group chat when it in regards to Black characters being voiced by Black voice actors or being voiced by someone of an opposite race. And it is always uplifting to see when there's representation, real representation for a character, and not just a face to the character. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah,
the fact that you just highlighted this character and the voice actress is of melanated descent. You know what I'm saying? It does. It definitely speaks to my soul when I see stuff like that, because earlier this week I did see a character that didn't share that same.
Well, listen, same for Storm. As you all know, I had the opportunity to interview the young lady who does the voice for Storm, and I was also made aware in that interview that she not only voiced Storm back in the day, but is voicing the Storm that is currently live and just was recently released. And she is a Trini. Wait, did she say Trini or Guy? She's Caribbean, and she said that Caribbean heritage is what gave her that majestic, like, and I call on the winds of the like that first Storm from like the X-Men, like the animated series, like back in the day when that motherfucker spoke, everybody stopped and listened, goddamn it. And that's the power of a melanated voice. So yes, you get to join. You already been in it, but yes, we recognize you again. And I'll go ahead and move on because I ain't gonna lie, I'm a huge fan of Canary, and I just wanted to make sure she got her flowers, y'all. So
definitely gonna check it out now.
But like I said, in the world of anime, we're getting a lot of news right now. For any Naruto fans out there, like myself, maybe you've heard, maybe you haven't heard, that there is an anime live action adaptation that looks like it may be coming into the works and looks like it's going to be led by none other than Destin Daniel Creighton of Shang-Chi fame. And can't nobody deny how dope Shang-Chi was. You might have some issues with the script or the plot, but goddamn, Shang-Chi was dope. So the prospect of us getting a live action Naruto is now ridiculous. I'm geeked up. I'm excited, but I'm also a little nervous because Naruto is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed ninja. And if they're going to depict this the right way, it's going to require some suspension of disbelief. Because
not at all.
Well, listen, they would have to do it the way they did. Was it Death Note, where they had like the characters and they just died, like Asian characters.
Dyed their hair all the time.
Yeah,
all the time,
and that's cool. So as long as they go that way, I'm just nervous about them picking like a, some sort of, like Leo, like
unseasoned.
Yeah, I'm thinking, what's old boy that plays Thor, his brother,
No,
Liam Hemsworth, or like one of these, I just hope they don't, like, casting wise, this can go very badly, very easily. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on in the Naruto world. Say it again, Nali.
It could go left real quick.
Yeah, it can legit go left. So I don't know. Are y'all Naruto fans? Are y'all into Naruto at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Naruto, does this all right, let me put this up and then y'all just give me the thumbs up, the thumbs down as to whether or not you're looking forward to this or not, or you think this is a good idea. I'm gonna take it down in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, okay, me and Nadi on the same. All right.
I got my thumb up because of the director. Now that right there speaks to me, because if this is in fact the same director of Shang-Chi, then why would it not be a mostly Asian cast? So I don't see Well, I don't hold that same sentiment and hair color when it comes to animations and anime. Because Squid Game is about to drop. We just saw the trailer for Squid Game 2, and the guy's got pink hair or what fluorescent pink hair. This happened. What is that? What was that? Hiroshi, whatever that yo-yo Hiroshi or whatever the joint that just came out on Netflix a few months ago. It's plenty of people in there with different color eyes. So the blue eyes and all of that, none of that bothers me. It's more about who's directing it, who has the last say in casting and stuff like that. And since I see the director, I think he's going to have something to do with the casting. I think those sentiments that you have put out there in the atmosphere, I think he's already probably heard a few times. So I think it might be good.
It's a very good point. Nolly, what you think?
You're
not muted. You're so expressive.
I'm scorned by previous adaptations.
Yes.
So I'm nervous now that we're delving more into getting more adaptations of things. They're getting better, but I feel like Naruto is a big jump. And so it's got a passionate fan base, real passionate. So a little anxious about it, but we'll see how it goes. Obviously, I will watch for the show, so we'll see.
Yeah, man. I had that same shot, that same caution that you have, Nolly, where let's just say it. I'll say it, even though we're not supposed to say it out loud. Dragon Ball Evolution. All right, I know. All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring it up. I'm sorry. I know we try to forget about it, but when I saw that it was possibly a movie, that's what kind of scared me, frankly. I think that this Naruto is too elaborate to cover in a 60 to 90 or even a 3-hour movie, frankly. Like, you're not going to get what what's up, Vamp Camps? He said, oh my God, he said it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I take it back. I didn't mean to say it out loud. But yeah, man, like, I'm nervous about the potential for a movie. I'd be more open and more excited about a show because they have more time to flesh out these characters, because there's way too many characters. Naruto is only one of them. I mean, listen, he's the main character, don't get me wrong, but there's Sasuke, there's the Shino, there's Shikamaru, there's Hakashi Sensei, Granny Tsunade, Pervy Sage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the list goes on. We could go down this whole list, and for them to fit like this, the complexity is all of the different villages, the Hidden Cloud, Hidden Village, Hidden Mist, all of these villages, all into a 2-hour movie about Naruto where he wants to be Hokage. I just don't see it happening. Now, I see an Avatar type of situation, because like Luffy from One Piece and like Aang from Avatar, dare I even say Spike from Cowboy Bebop, like there's been some success in the adaptation realm as it pertains to the series. But movie, I'm a little nervous, bro. What's good, Batai?
I'm just gonna say this, right? I think when it comes to casting, there's been a lot of discussion around casting, which is usually what upsets a lot of the viewers of these animes that are long term. So when it comes down to it, I think a lot of the directors, you're seeing a push, you're seeing a shift. And one of the things that you're seeing is that they're trying to get the casting right. And we saw it with One Piece. We're seeing it again with Last Airbender. And I don't see it changing at this point, because they realize that is one of the biggest, kind of beefs that fans are giving out, is when it comes to casting. Like, oh, this is definitely not it. No. So I think, again, the fact that we have the director of Shang-Chi gives me a sense of comfortability. So I'm like, okay, I don't see him going and whitewashing this. I just don't see it happening. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we'll I guess we'll find out soon enough. But I am excited for it. I think if the movie does well, you may get you may get what you asked for, which is a series.
Yes.
You know, but I think they decided to go with the movie first because of the fan base being so dedicated and so large. So they're doing the same thing that the Last Airbender did with M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh wow.
I just think the difference here is if we're talking about putting yourself on screen, then people won't have a problem.
True. I think that I would wish that they would learn from the Last Airbender situation and learn, like, don't do the movie and learn from Dragon Ball. It's anime series are too vast of a world to fit in a 2-hour. It's just you can't look. Gundam is coming out soon. There's a Gundam live action series coming out. You think they're gonna try to squeeze that shit into a movie? It's way too elaborate, man. It just can't happen. And like my man said, like we got Rock Lee, Guy Sensei, all these people were supposed to get like in 1 hour. And my assumption, guys, y'all can give me your opinions or not, but my assumption is the first season will have to revolve around the love story between Sasuke and Naruto, as it pretty much was the entire Shonen Jump series. The Naruto and Sasuke saga is basically the foundation of damn near the first couple Naruto releases. And so like the whole series, I mean, is almost completely surrounded by it. I can't possibly see them not give us basically a Naruto and Sasuke movie. I mean, even shoot, and Sasuke, freaking Naruto kissed, like they kissed and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole thing. I mean, obviously they're not attracted to each other. It was an accident or whatever. But like the whole concept of Naruto for the first couple of releases was him wanting to be Hokage, wanting to defend everybody, wanting to be great and not be teased anymore. But most of all, him wanting to get the respect of his counterpart Sasuke, who ultimately, you know, went his own way and did his own little thing. Like, can you all see any other plot that could be? I mean, I don't see anything else that they could like that. It has to be about Sasuke, right?
And it could focus on the relationship. I don't think it has to be just that, though. I mean, there's because of the vastness of the Naruto series. Because how many seasons are we talking? We're talking what? How many seasons of Naruto? 20?
Too many.
Like 7 or 8 seasons, 5 movies. It's like a bunch. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot. So when you think of it, you're trying to compound that into a movie. So, you know, anytime you're doing a movie, you're not going to base the whole entire storyline around two characters' love affair for each other. Now, you may base it around the competitiveness between those two characters. You may base it around a journey between those two characters or something like that. But you're not going to base it around a necessary love unless that's the route you're trying to go, which is more of a drama as opposed to an action flick. And if that's the case, we'll see how it translates. But I think, again, you have to look at the directors. You have to look at their past projects and what they were able to accomplish in those projects. Shang-Chi was a startup project that, you know, we didn't have any previous Shang-Chi stuff before the Shang-Chi movie dropped. We just, you know, it dropped and then bam, you know, we're introduced to the character. And pleasantly, we are introduced to the character. So again, I stand with the director of this film, and I hope, again, that you learn from the mistakes, because I keep hearing you say, like, you know, just don't do it. Just don't do it. No. As a person who loves creativity and also loves to see people be able to, you know, hone their crafts, if you pay attention to where others have made mistakes and you improve on those mistakes, then you're putting out a better product. So I just feel like that may be the one thing that does stand in favor for this project. Uh-oh, you're muted.
My bad. Sorry about that. You might be right, but my fear is that the lesson that you learned from the anime live adaptation movies is that you don't make live action anime movies. You make live action anime series because unlike like cartoons that come on like Doug and Rugrats, like these anime shows have like 80 episode seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like they like have you tried to watch Attack on Titan? Have you tried? Like you can't do that shit in 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Like so I think that Shang-Chi was a little bit easier to make. I know how fucked up that sounds. I don't mean that it was easy to make, but I think that you're given a little bit more of a more leeway because Shang-Chi wasn't something that had this huge fan base of like folks that are like cult followers of Shang-Chi. I'm sure there's some comic book readers that love Shang-Chi, but ultimately folks love martial arts. We love Kung Fu. We love Marvel. And that had Shang-Chi was all of that. So we went to see it. This is different. This is him stepping into a world of like Star Wars fandom where everybody's crazy and everybody will fuck you up if you fuck with their favorite characters. There's a big difference between putting together a project for people that love the characters and putting together a project to introduce characters. And Shang-Chi had that leeway. So I'm a little nervous about this project because even though the director was awesome, the weight of this project is higher because the length of time that Naruto has been in the public sphere and been not only there but popular is much greater. So his you got your work cut out. Look, I'm not willing to say it's impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very, very different. All right, when it comes to these two projects, Shang-Chi, as much as we loved it, nobody was asking for it. All right, I've yet to see a whole bunch of Shang-Chi cosplays at conventions, despite the fact that I love the character. But no matter where you go in the country, if you go to a convention, you are going to see Naruto characters. You're going to see the Uchiha. Uchiha. You're going to see the Katsuki. You're going to see hidden village members. You're going to see people dressed up with stars and with the. You're going to see it because it's cult. So you just got to tread lightly, homeboy, because this ain't Shang-Chi. this ain't Shang-Chi, homeboy.
Look, I got one more thing to say. Like I'm gonna say this. One of the best live actions that I've seen was Mulan. Mulan was done very, very, very well. And I just feel as though when it comes to something that like a Mulan, where you're making it colorful, you're making it. One of the things that set Mulan apart was the choreography. Those fight scenes, the sword scenes, all of that was crazy. So, like, if you have that aspect, because again, Shang-Chi, we saw a lot of choreography. We saw him fighting on a scaffold. Doing that. All of that was choreographed perfectly. Yes. We saw when they went to the village and then that she was doing all of the, all of the, you know what I'm saying? So when you get that, because that is what is going to drive this. Like, this is still Naruto. They still fighting. They still throwing shit. They still doing stuff. So it's going to come down to that, which is going to make this movie or break this movie. So when it comes down to it, again, I've seen enough from this director to know that he has the potential to do it. So let's just hope that he realizes that potential.
That's a good question. Vamp Camp says, you think a fight scene can save a movie or a show? And yes, I saw Full Metal Alchemist, and yes, it was trash. Even though they did look perfect. I will say that the look of it was perfect, but the actual execution was terrible.
The acting was trash. It was, oh my God. It
was really bad.
Yes.
But
to answer his question, yes, I do believe a fight scene can save a movie. And I'll give you an example. IP Man. That's all I had to see. And I don't know anybody who can argue with me that an IP Man, when he hit my man with the it was over. It was over. Like that. IP Man will go down in history as one of the best martial arts movies ever.
Okay.
And it was just that scene. Yo, yo.
Nolly, do you agree that fight scenes can save a movie or a show? Do you think that
fight scenes and CGI will make or break a movie?
Okay. I have an example of why that is not true. All right. So
he's gonna find the one example. Go ahead and tell your one example, bro.
I know it comes directly to mind. So not too long ago, there was a movie about dancers that imagined that while they were dancing, they were in like an anime. Y'all know where I'm going with this? No? Okay.
Dancers?
Oh, yeah. It was called Sucker Punch. Okay. Sucker Punch had some of the dopest fight scenes I had ever seen, some of the best CGI. They had this huge version of what looked like Thunder God Raiden that one of the main characters had to fight. It looked so dope, but the movie was trash. It was trash. The plot was terrible. The fact that all of this shit that was happening in this girl's head and wasn't happening in real life pissed me the fuck off, but it looked so dope. It looked beautiful. I fucking loved it, man. I would watch it, but on mute, because the movie is that good. It just doesn't translate well based on the fact that, you know, the fight scenes are good. And
Sucker Punch is a cult classic, though.
Yeah, look, a lot of people like Sucker Punch.
Classic for the reason you just said. So you feel like literally that is why people that is the only reason people really put Sucker Punch is because of the choreographed fight scenes and also the shoot 'em up, everything, the action sequences. Because I won't just say fight scenes, but I'll say the action sequences. That's what made it a cult classic. It would not have done anything without those fight scenes. So yes, it saved Sucker Punch because Sucker Punch would not even be on your breath if it wasn't for the fight scenes in that movie. So you just made the point, can a fight scene save a movie? You would have never discussed it at all if it wasn't for the fight scenes, brother. Come on, man. Come on, brother.
Nah. Listen. You're right, but the fight scenes kept the movie from being terrible. When if the movie was great, it wouldn't have been a cult classic. It would have been a classic. We don't want a cult classic only. We want a real dope ass length. When's the last time somebody said Sucker Punch and mentioned it to you? I didn't hate it. I loved the fight scenes. I loved the way it was depicted. But can nobody tell me what the actual movie was about? All right, Vam Cam, thanks for sticking around here. Can anybody tell me what it was about?
No. Yes, I know what it was about. It was about a girl trapped in the inside of a mental facility that was battling demons. But at the end of the day, my point is, and the question was, can a good action scene or fight scene save a movie? And the point is, you never would have mentioned Sucker Punch if it wasn't for the fight scenes.
But it didn't save the movie.
But it did, because it wouldn't have been a discussion at all. This is what I'm saying. If you take away the fight scenes in Sucker Punch, we forget about it completely. But the fact that it had these fight scenes is what has us conversing about it right now, brother. So that's what saving is. If it wasn't saved, it would have gotten lost, meaning we never would have discussed it again. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess we're saying the same thing, but we just had different.
No, we're not.
No, we are, because we're both agreeing that the good fighting scenes of this movie made the movie better. The disagreement that we have is what caliber did it leave the movie. You're saying that the fight scenes made the movie worth watching. If you didn't have the fight scenes, we wouldn't even talk about it. I'm saying yes, the fight scenes made the movie worth watching, but if the movie actually had a good plot to supplement the fight scenes, it wouldn't be a cult classic. It would be a classic, and that's what makes it not good. the fact that it was just good for the fight scenes. So it can save the movie in terms of making it not trash, but the movie was still not great. I'm sorry. The fucking movie had good fight scenes. It had good cinematography, good CGI, but the plot was trash. Nobody, look, even, what's his name was in it? Wasn't, I think, old boy, Professor X was in it. What's my man?
You know who was in it? Nah, I don't know about Professor X, but
I think he was in it.
Moon Knight was in it.
No, that's who it was. Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah. Oscar.
He was in it.
What, Nolly? What? I see you've got some opinions. Put me in my place, James McAvoy. Thanks, Darth. Man, pull on up, Darthlopedia. This is good. I appreciate that, man. But yeah, so Nolly, what are your feelings on Sucker Punch? Please.
I love Sucker Punch.
Oh, okay.
Please don't roast me, but I loved Sucker Punch. I left that theater like that shit was dope.
Oh, you saw it in the theater too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, why'd you love it so much? Just give us an idea.
It was just good, and the fight scenes did make that movie great. Like the storyline was, but it gave visually. It was giving. Okay, choreography for the fight scenes was giving. I ate it all up, no crumbs. Okay, I loved Sucker Punch, and I bring it up all the time. And I just talked to somebody about it like a few weeks ago. So I'm over here in my corner all by myself in my Sucker Punch corner. I got sucker punched by Sucker Punch, okay?
Nah, well, look, I'm not, again, I can't deny the movie had, like, cult scenes. Like, listen, as I keep saying and will continue to say, the shit had some of the best fighting scenes in any fucking movie I've ever seen in my fucking entire life. It's just undeniable. The movie had dope ass scenes, but that's it. Even Nolly, who loves the movie, is like, yeah, the plot was meh. That was the problem. So I guess,
but she said she loved it because of the fight scenes. And
right.
and look, this like let's be clear. Sucker Punch was doing something very like they were doing something that a lot of movies weren't doing yet, right. Which was they were doing freeze frames and slow motion camera reels. They were doing things that were well before their time. And that is, again, why we're talking about it is because of the fight scenes. So again, can a strong fight scene save a movie? According to me and Ollie, it can. Majority win.
Oh, so okay. So I get voted off the island on this. All right.
For my Hispanic people, got so set out.
Pack your shit and get the fuck off my island.
Right. Well, listen. Again, somehow it feels like you're trying to insinuate that I said that the movie that I didn't like. I didn't say I hated the movie. I said that it was trash. Doesn't mean I don't like it. Doesn't mean I don't like it. I can like a movie if it's trash. I just don't. I just like the fight scenes. All right, and okay. You know what? Maybe I should reevaluate my stance. I guess I did like the movie. I just wish I had a better plot. You know what I'm saying? The plot was just too. I would have preferred that these sequences, these fight scenes, to have actually been fight scenes that are happening, not things that are happening inside of her head. Oh my God! Why would it? As soon as I put myself on the lock screen, it's going to give me the fucking commercial. You fucking asshole.
Because of Sucker Punch. Look, because of Sucker Punch, movies like Ninja Assassin was able to thrive.
True.
Ninja Assassin is like they took all of this stuff from basically Sucker Punch. It was like, yo, we're gonna incorporate this shit and make it jump, and they did.
Yeah,
they literally did. So,
quick reference to a comment from back then. Somebody said something about live action Demon Slayer, and I think that would be a dope adaptation as well. But just to kind of make sure you know, Demon Slayer does. Did you say? I think there was like a fan made live action something that's on the internet, but there's not like but there is an actual anime movie that's supposed to be coming out next week, only in theaters. So maybe you can check that out. Speaking of movie theaters, as I told you all earlier, I did get to go see a movie, even though I was interrupted by shenanigans in the beginning of the movie. But I did want to give my quick spill on the Madam Web movie, as I did get an opportunity to see it. I think I'm the only one too. Did anybody else see it yet?
No,
I'm not paying for that.
You did what, Nolly?
I'm not paying for that.
You know, I don't think Ty did either.
No, I didn't pay
He
for
definitely
it.
didn't. But if he had the choice, he wouldn't either.
I was not going to pay for it. I was definitely not going to pay for it.
Well, listen, Madam Web dropped last week. I didn't get a chance to see it this week, but I definitely have an opinion about it. But I am curious before I even give mine as to what yours is. Ty, what'd you think about it?
I don't think it was bad as people said it was. Honestly, after watching it, I mean, I'm not sitting here saying it was a great movie, but I'm not. But you know, after reading some of the comments online and looking at the reviews and everything like that, you would have thought that this movie was just the worst movie that ever was made in the history of movies. Yeah. And that's not the case. There is it a little bland? Absolutely, but that's Sony. You know what I mean? Like, so it if you went into this with an expectation, then yeah, you probably were disappointed. If you went into this just looking like, okay, I'm just gonna check it out for shits and giggles. There were some parts of this movie that I don't think people really recognize, which if you did, then by the time you did recognize it, you were like, oh shit, okay, all right, okay. And so there were those moments. And I think as far as an introduction, what more could you have asked for? Madam Web's powers are not like Spider-Man's powers. So if you're looking for a whole bunch of action on behalf of Madam Web, then you probably don't want to see this. This is not what that's not what this is. This is more about origins. And kind of giving you the full scale of how large the Spider-Verse really is. And I think if you break down those key ingredients, then you're like, this isn't as bad as everybody's saying it is.
100%.
And that's what I came out of it as. But I'm not saying it's great. Not telling you should rush to go see it. But I will say that much of it, it did give you some glimpses into the larger scale of things.
Yo, we're vibing on the same page today, man. I frankly saw it and I was expecting to hate it. I went in waiting for it to like just completely suck, and it didn't completely suck. It wasn't phenomenal. It wasn't great. It was a good movie. And it's going in the right direction. That Sony, we've been saying Sony needs to build their own world, right? Like we've been saying Sony needs to stop trying to live off of the coattails of the MCU. Even though they kind of bring, because they brought Spider-Man and Blade into the picture, kind of gave MCU their start. They need to have their own MCU version of, and they're doing that. This is the introduction to, and if you watch this movie and look at it for what it's worth, which is the introduction to the Sonyverse, basically. It's not but it's one of the introduction. You see what's happening. So full disclosure. I'll try not to spoil as much. But
don't just say Sonyverse. This is an introduction to the Spider-Verse. This is literally the beginning of the Spider-Verse. Like if you watch Madam Web,
true.
This is the beginning of the Spider-Verse, all the way back to the very, very first Spider-Woman. Yes. So again, it gives you all of the backstory that you didn't know you wanted or needed, and also it is exactly what you just said. It is universe building. Yes. Like let's not act like we haven't already had Morbius, we haven't already had Vulture, we're getting Craven, all of the individuals that are part of Spider-Man's universe and that Spider-Verse, they're introducing them. So yeah, they're saying we're not going to sit here and continue to hope that Marvel brings us along. We're going to just go ahead and create our own stuff, and hopefully Marvel will jump on board because they see that we finally get it.
Yeah. And if I'm being honest, man, this was a much better way to bring this universe into the fold than I originally thought. Like, this actually was fucking brilliant. It was brilliant. Like, the way, like, they said, you know what? We're not going to give Spider-Man an origin story because we've seen that before. We're going to give the concept of Spider-Man an origin story. You know what I'm saying? Like, not Peter Parker, you know what I'm saying? Not Miles Morales, you know, not Jessica Drew. No, we're going to show you the origin of Spider-Man from South America. Like, this shit is international. This shit ain't even like just some New York shit. There's Spider-Man and there's other spiders that weren't genetically made in some lab by Norman
radioactive. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's other spiders that not only just give you super strength, but could increase your clairvoyant abilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole and then, frankly, if I can say so myself, the fact that can we go? Should we?
I mean, I think it's still early because I know where you want to go and everything like that. But
Man.
I think you could discuss it without actually spoiling.
Okay.
Like,
all right. Well, let's just say that if you wanted to, you could call this a Spider-Man origin story. But I'll let those of you who haven't seen it yet just kind of let that part run its course. I will give you some. I don't know if these are considered spoilers, but I'll give you some plot, some things about the plot that maybe will help you decide as to whether or not you're going to go see the movie or not. So, the Parkers are represented in this movie. One, Ben Parker, is actually in the movie. So Spider-Man's uncle and his mom, the original Spider-Man, OG, Peter Parker, they're in this movie. And actually, Ben Parker, played by Adam Scott, has a prominent role. You know, in fact, like, there was a little like weird flirty like vibe going on between him and Cassandra that was frankly a little uncomfortable for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If I could be honest, because, you know, it was like, all right, what the fuck really going on here? But I think that is dope because it gives a proxy of Spider-Man, so we can have a movie that's Spider-Man-esque, but not Spider-Man centric. All right, which I thought was good. There's even a scene where Madam Web, you know, learning whether or not she has Spider-Man's powers, which I actually laughed out loud for. I thought that was kind of funny. But I will critique the couple things, and this I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all in advance. I don't think these are spoilers, but I'm just going to give you my little review on a couple things. I'm not going to give away the whole movie. Like Ty said, if you're going looking for an action movie, that's not it. But there are action scenes, some of which are fire. Some of which, one in particular, I'll even tell you, in the restaurant, Ty, in the restaurant, with when the villain came into the restaurant, nigga. Yes. Like, I wasn't ready for that shit. Like, that shit fucked me up. Like, and so there are some scenes, but yes, this is not a Spider-Man movie. So if you want to see a bunch of swing sequences, don't go see this. Just go to Netflix and watch Amazing Spider-Man 2, where they have the best Spider-Man swing sequences, in my opinion. But I will critique the movie for one thing, and I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know that this movie grossly misused Mike Epps' character. Mike Epps was not utilized properly.
Yes, he was.
No, he was not.
Yes, he absolutely was. Mike Epps is a terrible actor, and I don't know if he would even. The fact that he was even allowed to be in this movie was a plus on Mike Epps' resume, because Mike Epps is a terrible actor, not a great comedian either. But he's. I'll say it. I'll say it again. He's not a great comedian. I just saw his stand up again. And he's not top tier. Mike Epps had his run and of doing good comedy, but he took the jokes and kept running the same jokes over and over and over again for a very long time, and still includes the same jokes in his sets at like 20 years later almost. So yes, Mike Epps was utilized the best way Mike Epps could have been utilized in this, which was short and quickly. So like, don't give Mike Epps. Mike Epps is not a good actor. One movie that he was a great actor in or a good actor in, and I will shut up.
Nolly, is Mike Epps that bad?
Absolutely.
didn't know he was that. I mean, I don't put him on Denzel's like level, but I mean, I thought he was all right in Meet the Blacks, even though that movie wasn't, you know,
He's got one note.
yeah. Well, so
One
does Kevin Hart. You know, a lot of comedians don't have range. They're comedians that get acting roles. You know, I mean, except for like Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence. You know, there's a few that Richard Pryor. But anyway, hey, you said what you said. I thought that they could have used Mike Epps better. Maybe he's not the best actor, but I mean, damn, he is at least supposed to be funny. They didn't do shit with that in this movie. So that's one critique.
Favor. That's what a favor looks like.
Oh, you think that's what it was?
That's absolutely. First of all, let me ask you something. You sit here talk about you think so. What director do you think was like, yo, we got to get Mike Epps to make this movie really jump? We got to get Mike Epps. Not a net. Let's take a page out of Mike Epps' book. Not a nan. I like how you say that. Say it again. Not a nan.
Not a means no nan not a nan no. I don't know what you just said, but that shit sound good.
Yeah, I in the moment when I saw him on scene, I was like, I literally looked at my wife. I was like, "Give me the baby powder. Give it to me.
Give me the baby powder. Give me the baby powder. Shut the fuck up. Baby powder. Yo, you stupid as shit. Yeah, but you're right though. I mean, yeah, he does have that one note thing that he hits or whatever. But at the same time, I don't know. I just thought that he could have been. I mean, while I was watching this movie for a short period of time, there was I stopped and thought, man, I wish Seth Rogen was involved with this movie, because if they had the Marvel Cinematic Universe type of humor writing, it could have been that much better. Like, there was some failed attempts at humor in this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, you know, it is. And I also thought that some of the acting, frankly, in the very beginning was very lackluster. I hate that they did the whole, you know, the George Kirk thing, you know, in the movie, like they did with Thor, with Hemsworth, original Chris Hemsworth, when he was Captain Kirk's dad in the J.J. Abrams reboot of Star Trek. They kind of gave that opening scene type of thing, and this, honestly, I thought they could have done a little better with that. But I will say that even after the first scene,
in regards to who specifically, are you talking to the main character?
No, I'm speaking about the mom.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about the mom. She threw me off. Like I don't know if this is disrespect or not, but I don't know if that was her finest moment or if it was poorly written. But that whole like that introductory scene,
where she was like dismissive.
Yeah. It was very unrealistic. It was difficult to believe that the notion that there's a, you know, somebody of a certain level of pregnancy, you know, I mean, it made more sense as they did, but like it was a little, but the way it was acted out, it just didn't sit well with me. But either way, as we progressed, I loved the dynamic between Ben Parker and Cassie, and how they were. I loved the notion of international radioactive spiders. I love the notion of Spider-Man existing outside of the realm of the United States, or at least cultured, or like Spider-Man culture type things. I love the notion of spiders that give other powers other than just strength and electricity and invisibility and I even, frankly, it took a little minute, but the villain grew on me too. Even though I was confused as to why he looked like Spider-Man, when this was a movie, this was clearly a period piece. You know, I think it was from like the late 90s. I think it was supposed to be. There was a Blockbuster video they clearly showed to show you that this is a period piece. And I think that for that, it was fairly decent. But I also think that it's good to reset the Marvel cinematic approach so that everybody isn't expecting every Marvel movie to be Shang-Chi, Infinity War. You know, I know that's MCU, but sometimes a movie can be a thriller. Like, we can enjoy Luke Cage as much as we enjoy Legion, right? So,
absolutely.
What's up, Ty?
I was just gonna say this movie doubled and tripled down on the idea of Spider-Man being a mantle and not just an individual. because from the very beginning, as you alluded to in the the first scene, um, you see something that allows you to understand that the way that they set it up, that the idea of Peter's suit was not his individual. It wasn't that's why I say like Superman is the mantle is the S on his chest, right? That suit can be worn by other people, as you see Supergirl wear the same thing. The same thing. It's a mantle. This movie basically allows you to know that like Spider-Man or Spider-Woman is a mantle that can be carried from this thing. It gives you a backstory of that and where that comes from, and then kind of as the movie progresses you see the different types. And I think again this is what Sony is trying to do, which is build this universe and make it more expansive by letting you know that look, Peter Parker or any of the many individuals that have played Spider-Man are, and we've seen that in other Spider-Man movies as well, that they all exist. Like all these people, all these different Spider-Man, what I'm saying, we saw it in Spider-Verse on the animation. But again, they're doubling, they're tripling, they're making sure that they let everybody know, oh, Peter Parker is not the only Spider person. Right. And we'll just say that person, you know what I'm saying? So I think that was important. And I think they did a good job of that in this movie. I think that part they did a good job of.
Yeah, I think that what you'll notice for those who haven't seen it and you're still going to watch it, this movie, I think, let me give a suggestion. Then we want to move on because we're starting to run out of time. For those who haven't seen this movie and are interested in seeing it, go to see this as a movie, not as a Spider-Man movie, if that makes any sense. All right, go see this movie as if you're going just to see a movie about a woman and you have no idea who Spider-Man is. All right. Now, for the Spider-Man fans, you're going to get your Easter eggs. You're going to get the love of the Spider-Man character. It's going to be there. You're going to get what you want. But don't go in it expecting, web cartridges and spider sense and a lot of, backflips and agility. And that's not what this is. That's not what this is. And it's not designed to be. And frankly, it's probably a good thing that we're going in a different direction. I frankly think that, like Tiffy said last week, that this movie is because of the woman nature, the woman leads is getting the shadow bomb or the whatever they do, where they try to low key boycott it because it's not white male led or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think there's some of that afoot, but frankly, I think that Sony, after watching this, even though I was the biggest critic when this was announced, nobody's asking for a Madam Web. You can go back. I'm on tape saying, fuck this shit. I'm not going. But after watching it, I have a complete change of heart. I think that Sony is now intelligently moving in the direction of having their own characters become prominent. And what was done in this movie that me and Ty, I think, have said without saying is that this movie is an origin story for some Sony characters that I'm pretty sure we're going to see in some more movies coming up. Some of which are very, very popular, if I can speak candidly, and some of which made a pretty good impact. And that's not just the one who's getting a lot of the attention, which is the girl who I don't know if y'all know, but she remember that movie Voyeur? You saw Voyeur. You saw Voyeur.
We did a whole thing on that. Yep.
So she, and the fact that she could play a teenager, and can also turn around and play, a very seductive actress and one who reveals herself completely in the movie Voyeur. For those who are interested,
I would recommend Voyeur. I would recommend it. If you haven't seen it, I'd recommend it.
It's got some scenes. Yeah,
definitely recommend it.
Yeah, so I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say that this is a good movie. Madam Web, for those of y'all interested, is a good movie. I would dare even say that it's going to grow over time. It's not going to get the love it deserves right now, but it will get the love it deserves as time progresses. When we look back and realize, oh shit, that shit actually was fairly groundbreaking. You know,
when it hits streaming services. When it
yeah,
hits
when it
streaming
hits,
services.
I think it'll get more love when it gets to streaming services. But as of right now, I think that people are expecting anything that has Spider-Man in it to be a blockbuster like Spider-Man, and that's just not the case. This is giving us credence to introduce more spider type stuff. So thank you, and we will continue watching. Let's go ahead and move on to something else real quick. Oh, no worries. So, speaking of world building, I was shocked and a little disappointed, frankly, to find out that this upcoming season of Star Trek Discovery will be the last season of Star Trek Discovery. And that seems a little sudden because even though, the season has been dipping, Frank, the show has been dipping the last couple seasons. Let's just keep it real. It's the first two seasons, whoo, woo! The last two seasons, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of doing that thing. But still, I was hoping that it would have more hope, man. I was like, Nolly, we are just learning about Section 31 coming into play, and we're looking forward to Michelle Yeoh having her role in Star Trek and her own show. But we're losing another show in the process. Like, is that what do you? What do you think about that? Ty is frozen. All right, my bad. Anyway, so yeah, what do you think about that? Like, any idea why this may be happening, or
it's probably because of the dip with the two seasons that weren't great.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So you saw those seasons, you don't think they were great either? Yeah, man. It was a little hard.
I toughed it out.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I was really encouraged by the fact that we had Star Trek's first black couple, even though Book is not of Earth. I like the fact that there is a prominent black couple. I mean, even, because Michael Burnham's first love interest was a guy, a human who identified as Klingon. You know what I'm saying? So for her to get a love interest and he actually has powers and shit like that, I thought it was pretty. Yes, Sid Sweeney was who is Darth Erebus. Yes, Darthopedia. Appreciate it. But I'm a little upset. I wish that instead of killing the show, I wish that they would just make it a little better. I'm honestly still a little shocked that they, spoilers, this has come out for a while, that they didn't move forward with the Red Angel. I still don't understand why they did not want to keep the Red Angel as prominent. Welcome back, Ty. Hold on, let me get him in here. Yeah, we were just talking Star Trek, man, and we don't understand. Like, this is the last season, and Nolly seems to think that this last season is the last season because the last two seasons weren't really seasoning. What you think?
She's absolutely right. I mean,
yeah,
she's absolutely right. The last two seasons haven't been outside of Georgina, and her storyline and everything like that, which they clearly wanted to follow up because they set the section. What is it? What's the name of her show that they're coming out with?
31.
Section 31. But outside of that, once they left Spock behind, and it just was Burnham, and then Burnham more slump. And then they just kind of tripled down when they dropped the third season, and it was like, this is really not what the third season was. Really bad. Like it was because it focused more around that the young lady, the one that it was more focused around her than it was Burnham. Than Burnham. So it started changing up, and it was bad to the point where I didn't even finish it. Honestly, I think I wound up stopping at episode 8, I think, or something like that, or whatever. And I think it's 10 episodes each season, or something, or 11.
Damn.
And I stopped at like episode 8, and then I went back and tried to watch it again, and I stopped again. I was like, yeah, this is not it for me. and they had good characters too. They had some funny the engineer. She's funny. The one that and I hope she doesn't get. I hope this is not offensive, but I know it's gonna be. But it's not meant to be. But she gives me Tom Cruise vibes every time I see her. I like it like for real. Like every time I see her, she looks like the female version of Tom Cruise, but she's just funny. Like it's the truth. I'm not wrong. Like she, like when you look at her, she looks like the female version of Tom Cruise, but she's just super funny, and I liked her character. But just as a show, and oh girl, Burnham's friend, the redhead, what's her name?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I like her character development, but again, it wasn't enough to keep my interest sparked. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's not surprising at all that this show is.
But
just a full season, rather.
I slightly disagree with you on the season 3, because that was the Red Angel season, wasn't it? Wasn't season 3 the conclusion of the Red Angel?
The Red Angel season was season 2.
I thought that season 2 was when Michael Burnham. It was the conclusion of the Klingons, the conclusion of the guy who went Klingon, and then they introduced Red Angel in season 2, but they finished it in season 3, right?
Well, season 3 started with her in another.
That was okay. All right, so I'm confusing. Okay, so yeah. we met her mom.
This is season 4, right? This will be season 4. Am I right or wrong?
I thought is this season 4 or 5? I thought it was 5.
I think it's 5.
It's 5, right? Because there's 2 seasons with Book.
Okay. All right. Well, then all right. So then I'm wrong. So season 3 was the Red Angel.
Right.
So it was season 4. Well, no. I
hold on. Listen. Season 3 is where we stopped the Red Angel. We concluded the Red Angel. Yeah, we concluded Red Angel, and then we went into Book, and then we get the introduction to Book. And that's when it started slumping, but I didn't think that was trash. Then 4, it went completely downhill because Book now, because he's a stranger and now he's speaking at the Federation. You know, like it's like, who the fuck is you? You know what I'm saying? Because you have a ship. You know, well, I guess he's the last person of his speaking. All right, well, yeah, all right. There's context there, but either way, the Star Trek show, we haven't really talked about it as much because, frankly, it goes up and down. But what they are doing is world building, and even though Star Trek Discovery is ending, and I still wish it wasn't, because listen, we don't. How often do we get a black woman captain of a Starship Federation ship, Star Trek's Federation ship? But we also have Michelle Yeoh, who is going to be reprising her role as Giorgio in the upcoming Section 31 series, which I frankly think is going to kick some ass because Michelle Yeoh always brings martial arts to almost all of her characters. So in the season 1, one of the things that made season 1 so dope was the fact that we got fighting scenes with Michael Burnham and Michelle Yeoh. And so I can only hope, Nolly, that Michelle Yeoh makes this Section 31 a little more substantial than maybe the Discovery show was, and that it doesn't go down. It's a movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
So if it's a movie, dude, that's
no.
Michelle Yeoh's driving it. So I honestly, every project I've seen her in recently has been really good.
Yeah.
Like really good. Like I just watched The Tiger's Apprentice on Paramount Plus. She does voice acting in that as the villain. And that was really good. Everything Everywhere All at Once was really good. Also, The Brother's Son. On Netflix is really good.
Is it really good?
Yes, nobody talks about it, but yes, it was funny. It's funny throughout. It's not to be taken seriously, even though the fight scenes are very well choreographed, and Michelle Yeoh is on her job as usual, acting, magnificent. But The Brother's Son is one that we don't talk about that is actually pretty good. And so in most of the projects, like I said, that I've seen her in or involved with have been pretty successful or pretty good. So again, I think this is going to be good. And also, I don't think this is the last we'll see of Burnham. Burnham is too
true.
Her character is so well written as far as her character goes that it holds a place within the the Star Trek universe.
You're right.
So as long as she's related to Spock, she can always come back in anything he's in, and she is still related to him. That is still her half brother.
And they have
so you know, like, and if we have the Section 31 movie coming out, it almost seems like you can't keep her out of that movie. Like, come on, man. Like, this is Burnham we talking about, man.
Yeah, nobody, and JoJo was Burnham's.
You're muted. You're muted again. You're muted again. Ben.
I am me. You can hear me. You can hear me, Nolly.
Uh-oh, maybe. Oh, yeah, that's me. my
I'm muted.
What you call is died. Must be.
Your audio
my headset died. So go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying that JoJo was her mentor. In even though it was a different JoJo, you know, from not the what do they call those the racist humans from her universe, I forgot, but it's so funny. Like they're basically like make Earth great again. It's like, and they're like, oh, we gotta kill all of those non-human scum. Like everybody is not human. They're like, human supremacy is like a concept that we haven't really preached. So I think that's kind of fascinating. But yeah, man, unfortunately, it does look like Star Trek, the last Discovery, the first black pilot of captain of a Star Trek show, is going to be coming to an end. But I am encouraged by Ty's, tease of the possibility that Michael Burnham will still show up in some of the other projects. Perhaps, who knows? Maybe even the one with Captain Pike, called Strange New Worlds. And we'll never know, because Spock is on that show now, so we'll see.
Didn't she start with Pike?
Yes, she started with Pike. Well, after they went back and remember they had she started with Pike. They had that whole time traveled, you know what I'm saying? Because of the Red Angel and all of that. And so you get Pike, you got Spock, they even got Kirk, you know what I'm saying, is in the show, freaking Uhura. I mean, come on, man. It's just the whole thing. So definitely check that out. Well, we're running low on time, so with our last few minutes, our last 10 minutes or so, I thought we'd watch a couple of trailers for some upcoming projects. I want to go ahead and kick it off with this project, which I'm looking forward to. It is starring Lupita Nyong'o in the upcoming new edition of the Quiet Place saga called Quiet Place Day 1. And I just want us to check out this trailer and talk about it on the other side. So without further ado, here you go. Boy, oh boy. So here's a trailer for Quiet Place Day 1. Let's talk, man. So I'm gonna pull this down in a second. Give me a thumbs up if you like what you saw. Thumbs down if I could do without it, or meh in the middle if you're not really feeling either way whatsoever. I'm gonna pull it down in 3, 2, 1. Oh shit, he's got all the hands up. Okay, all right. He got offense. Oh, we looking good. Okay. Well, Nolly, you first. What makes you look forward to this project? What are you liking about it?
I love A Quiet Place, and so I know they've given us glimpse of like when it first happened, but it's just like little clips. I want to see how these motherfuckers figured out that they needed to be quiet because I can't be quiet for shit. And so it gives me anxiety to watch them because I'd be like, I breathe heavy and I'm just so how do you do it? But I'm excited.
Ty, what makes you excited about it?
Lupita.
Period.
I mean, Lupita. I love Lupita. Like I literally have a place in my heart etched out just for her. I was kind of critical of the last Quiet Place because I feel like, you know, when you did it the first time, it was groundbreaking. Now it starts to become a little redundant. I don't typically like movies where there's no sound, and there are going to be a lot of moments within this movie where there's literally no sound. And I know what the director's trying to show and everything like that, but that I for me it becomes a little annoying, especially if I go to the movie theaters that you went to and they're ordering shit while the movie's on, and it just makes it very, very easy to hear them even better when there's no sound. Yeah, my thing is I love Lupita, and for that reason, I'm gonna go check this movie out. But I mean, how much more can you give us? You've already given us 2 movies of The Quiet Place. We kind of know how they both went, and one you already know that you have to be quiet, and another one you learn that you have to be quiet, and like so. I don't know how far we're gonna keep going with it. I hope this is the last one, because if they do another Quiet Place, after this one, like then I'm just like, where are we going now? Because I thought we killed him. I thought we did it in the last one.
Yeah, but it's the
prequel. I know this is the prequel. I know, that's what I was saying. As I said, I hope this is the last one. That's all I'm saying. I hope this is the last.
I feel like 3 is enough. 3 is definitely enough. Yeah.
Even though 1 is a prequel, all right.
You don't want to oversaturate it.
True. Okay. All right, I can feel that. If this does put an end cap on it, I'm cool with it. I'm always excited to see Lupita. Of course, she is a gem, one of our Black queens. But I'm also hella excited to see Jimon. This dude doesn't get the flowers he deserves. This dude has been out for a long time, and he hasn't aged a day, with the exception of a little bit of silver in his beard. So yeah, I'm looking very forward. He's come a long way since La Amistad, and he's now in, he's Shazam. He's doing a whole bunch of shit, man. So big ups to Jimon. Big ups to Lupita. We are looking very much forward to this movie coming out. We only got time for 1 more. I thought we had time for 2, but I just got 1 more. Since we only have time for this 1 more, let me go ahead and put this up. This is something we are all looking forward to, and of course, I'm talking about none other than The Boyz. We will be returning 2 screens in June, and here is one of the trailers for the upcoming show. Let's take a look at it and watch and talk about it on the other side. Here we go.
Rome, Greece. All democracies fail because people are fucking stupid.
I love this show.
But if you crush the masses, who builds your monuments? Who tongues your taint? The people will tear it apart themselves. You just gotta nudge them a little. Then you get to swoop in, be the one saving it.
Like Caesar.
Like Caesar.
Don't worry. If there's hell below,
Oh, hell.
Who watched their balls crushed?
Me.
Your team. What's your code name again?
The Boyz.
Oof. Who came up with that shit?
Uh-oh. Oh, there's more to it. Hold on. I may have stopped too soon. Let's see this last little piece, I guess there is, of this trailer. We definitely don't have that much time, so here it is. Oh, fuck. Oh well. Sorry, it didn't work out the way I expected. All right, man, let me put that up and let's go ahead and put it down. We don't have too much time to talk on it, but thumbs up, thumbs down. Pulling it down in 1, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, Ty, yeah, obviously, we don't have to sit and talk about the freaking Boyz. We know we love it, and we'll probably have to talk a little bit more about it next week. But some of the stuff that I saw in here was like we got Jeffrey Dean Morgan now. He's going to be in here, so that's another thing. And I don't know who the young black lady was, but I'm interested in hearing about her character. So a lot to look forward to. What do you think, Nolly?
I'm hype, especially after the way Gen V finished. I'm ready.
Yeah,
it's been a long time. I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He slays every fucking role, so I'm ready.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too keen on his politics, but sometimes I try to put that stuff aside. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Oh, you did Dark. Oh, you did. Yo, you went to Sailor Boom last night, bro, and you made it to the show. What, man? You supposed to be so fucked up. I hope that everybody that we know had a good time last night and did it to the point where they don't wake up till Monday.
That's why I wore my Sailor Boom shirt today.
Yeah, that's why it's Nadi's got on the shirt, man. Ty, real quick, your thoughts on the Boyz trailer, bro. Ty? And there you have it. Ty's overwhelming. And he's just speechless. He just doesn't, he's just so overwhelmed.
It took him to another plane.
It's just wow. It's just out there like that. Yeah.
No words.
Well, listen, I just want to go ahead and say thank you to everybody who's watching and who did watch on YouTube, Facebook, on X, and on Twitch. Those of you all who are currently listening on Spotify, iHeartMedia, and all of the other podcast sites, thank you so much. Please share, tell a friend. Let's bring more to the conversation. Let's talk more. Next week, we're going to talk Squid Game, and we're going to talk even more about that little Avatar and some other stuff that's popping next week. But on behalf of myself, my man Bad Ty, my homegirl Nolly, and everybody who even ain't here right now, which would be, Tiffy, Steph, Omar, Kev, Tyrone, everybody that fucks with us. We want to say thank y'all for pulling up. And as we always say, be your authentic self this Black History year. Because if you ain't being yourself, you're being fake, fuck boy. And in all things you do with your jutsu, hallelujah, go ahead and let that geek flag fly. Pull on up, Yvette. Actually, you know what? Let's close.
I just want you guys to get along. No, because why is he here? Because I ain't invited me. Katara, you gotta understand, it's my decision. I need to learn firebending. I mean, Katara, he do gotta learn fire for real. You can't learn firebending from somewhere else? You want me to get on campfire and learn? Maybe. You be doing too much. That's why your mama dead. Your mama dead too? And your daddy don't love you. So, and he sure ain't gonna love you now. You over here cooling with the Avatar? Well, I don't have no parents, so why we gotta talk about who mama dead? Like, not for nothing to say. Sorry, be honest. Just be honest. You want me, don't you? Ooh. Ooh. Katara. You know what? Katara. Oh my God. What a bitch. Katara. Get her. That was uncalled for. I'm sorry, Zuko. I'm a light her on fire like rotisserie. No. Y'all just calm down. Grab her. Zuko, calm down. She playing with me. Zuko. I don't want you, Zuko. I never don't blow my fire out. Zuko, I know.